All right, here we are. Another session of the Edge Sales Power Play. So good to have you here. Are you the kind of person that is always looking to shorten the sales cycle? Are you one of those? That's the concern, that's the mission, that's your objective on a regular basis? Well, I got something for you today. You are in the right place because that's not the question that you should be asking is how do I trying to get my computer to cooperate here. There we go. How do I shorten the sales cycle? That's just not the right question. That's not what we're looking for. That's not what you want to be doing. So today we're going to talk about 3 ways to strengthen, not shorten, your sales cycle and to do it right now. Okay, that's me. You just saw, but I wanted to make sure this is the image that we've been sharing because it's always me and Cindy, right? The Jim and Cindy show, and so this is the last image you're going to see of Jim and Cindy show on the Edge Power Play because it's primarily me. I'm always trying to bring Cindy more into the frame. I want her on stage with me and in front, and she's very, very happy to not have to be. She likes just pushing me out front, let me be the dancing bear for all of you, and she stays behind looking good and taking care of business. So this is what you get now, me. And then when the time comes, she'll show up and drop in whatever she feels the need. Right? So let's roll on. Here's the problem. You want sales to happen faster, right? Sure. You want people to be ready to buy when they show up. Yeah. Right? I want you to give me a thumbs up. Give me a thumbs up. Type in the chat wherever you're leaning into. Where are you dialing in from? Type in the chat. Is this you? Ping. Okay. You want them to buy when you're ready for them to buy. Is that not true? Don't lie to me. Don't even lie to me. We know that's what's going on. Okay. But here's the question that I get all the time. Jim, how do I shorten the sales cycle? Right? Everybody's in a mad dash from clicks to cash. You want to go from a click to a high ticket enrollment as fast as humanly possible. I got news for you. Hey, this is you trying to answer those questions. That's actually me trying to answer these questions because I get tired of answering the same questions. So I'm sharing them here. The real problem is you are too impatient. You are too impatient. I want it now. Want it all, and I want it now. And just side note, do you like the graphs? I mean, give me some feedback on the slide decks. We're playing with this because the Edge Sales Power Play, new program for us, new opportunity. We're really liking it, and we're getting great feedback on it. But the Edge Power Play, this is us drawing the whiteboard. This is us. We're in the locker room. Okay, team, we're ready right now. Let's get the full court press. Right. Let's make sure we're running gunning. So like the images here. So like we are drawing on the chalkboard. We're making stuff happen. So let me know your thoughts on that. Give me some feedback. Okay. So you're impatient. That's the real problem. You don't like that, do you? Because you need nails now, money now, as my friend Susie Carter says. Give me the now, money now. We need sales now. And we need, if you're planning on being in business next month, next week, next year, then you need to start planning and strategizing for revenue to come next month, next week, next year. Get it? Got it? Okay. So that's part of the conversation because you always got to be focusing on now money, but we are usually doing the wrong things to try to make somebody ready when they're not. So let me show you what's going on. The data shows us since COVID, we field lots of data. We have hundreds of thousands of sales conversations through the various campaigns that we support. So we have a lot of data, typically more than most people are ever going to have access to in their entire life. And what we are seeing in a post-COVID world, and especially now as we're moving into this winter season, as we're calling it, you fill in the blank with whatever you want to call it. Type in the chat, whatever you've been calling it. Winter season, recession, a fall season, terrified, whatever you might be doing. Okay, winter season for us, which means you got to be in a season of excellence. This is what we're seeing, the data showing. Your ideal buyers need more time, more touch, more incentive. They need greater access to you. They need more evidence that you're real and you're legit, that you know what you're doing, that you are to be trusted, that you are the person who can get them in the right direction. More touch, more time, more incentive. Write it down. Type it in the chat. More touch, more time, more incentive. You need to be doing that. We're not going to dive too deep into what that all looks like right now. We've done other trainings on it. If you want more, if you would like to go deeper on that, type that in the chat and I'm happy to do a training on that for you. These Edge Sales Power Plays is an example of us going, more time, more touch, more incentive. We're trying to give you more results, more insight, more strategies, more of the things we're literally seeing from the front lines of doing the stuff that we are seeing all over with our own campaigns and with all of our client campaigns. We are sharing that stuff with you because we want you to have more time with us, more touch in our world, greater incentive. We want to give you more incentive. Doesn't mean less prices. It means minimizing risk, showing people that you actually have the goods, that you know what you're talking about, because trust equals consistency over time. That's what most of us are trying to shortcut. The faster we're trying to do this, we're trying to deliver amazing trust in the front end. And bottom line is, no matter how many, blah, blah, easy for me to say, no matter how much you do that, you can't make people want to make a decision faster. 10% of the buyers out there are going to be the ones who come to you on the first click. Everybody else needs more touch, more time, and more incentive. That's always been the case. The only difference now is even more touch, more time, and more incentive. Meaning if it used to take 5 touches, now it takes 10. If it used to take 10, it's now taking 15. If it, there's formulas, right? 7, 11, 4, 7 touches over or on 11 platform or 11 platform, 7 touches, 11 platforms over 4 months, right? 7 touches, 11 months over 4 different platforms. There's a lot of different ways you can get in front of people. You have to be varied. They got to see you in video. They got to see you in writing. They got to see you in their inbox. They got to see you on social media, see you at a live event. They need to see you, experience you coaching, experience you leading, experience your vulnerability, your reality, your credibility, your authority. All of these things take time, and you can't make that happen faster. You can make it happen more effectively. Okay, this is about strengthening the sales cycle. So right now, the goal is not shorten the sales cycle. It is strengthen it. Got it? Give me one of these. Let me a flex right now. Come on, give me a fist or a bicep in the chat. I want to see what you got. Let me make that happen. Wherever you're dialing in from, let us see it. Okay, stick around to the end of this here, because in the next 20 minutes, we're going to dial through some of these things. I'm going to share with you some very key critical things that are going to help you look at the sales cycle differently, to shift the game, give you more confidence, more certainty, better outcomes. Okay. At the end, there's a bonus punchline to this whole thing. So stick around because you're going to love that. Okay. Key number 1, you need to identify where they want to go. Simple. Yes. Again, I'm not a genius. I don't have a PhD. I do have badass credibility and experience at what I do. I don't know much else, but I know what I do is really freaking good and work, and we're best in the world at what we do, and it works. Okay. So this is the only thing that I will argue with you on. Everything else, you can figure it out. Key number 1, identify where they want to go. You've probably thought of that before. Okay. But you need to put structure to it. Where are they going? We call it the mountaintop experience in our world. This is about delivering a mountaintop experience for people. How do you help them see something that they haven't been seeing? How do you help them not sell your product? How do you help them see that there's something here that they want? There's something here that they need, right? They need to be to this mountaintop experience in our world that looks like a sellable business. When you're in our world, our mission is to take people to a sellable business. Does it mean they're going to sell it? No, it means that they can. It means they have to start doing the things that will get them ready to become a sellable business. Do you have quality lead generation processes and systems in place? Do you have predictable sales of sales solutions? Do you have intuitive offers for upsells and cross sells? Do you have a working pipeline system? And nurture in your CRM. Pipeline is not nurture. They are 2 different things. But do you have that dialed in, perfected, and ready to rock and roll? Because most people are just missing too many of these things to be valuable. Our mission is that you become sellable, because even if you don't sell it, it's the most enjoyable business to run. It's the most pleasurable. It's the most profitable. It's the easiest to replicate. You start enjoying business. So then maybe you don't want to sell it, or you do, but our mission is to get you there. And people come along the way. Right down here, we're usually working on revenue generation structures. What are the things that are going to help you generate revenue? And what are the pitfalls along the way? Because that's what's about getting you world-class and getting you profitable. Okay, I have another image here that has all of that on it, which I didn't put on here because I was creating these slides last night at 11 o'clock at night. However, you need to be thinking about that. Identify where you want to go. So I'm sharing with you where we see you, so that we want to get people there. And everybody doesn't want to be that. But at the end of the day, that's what you need to have. You need to have quality lead generation systems, quality conversion systems. You need to have things that can replicate you, and then automate you, and then leverage you, and then build monthly recurring revenue opportunities, and things that are going to increase the value of your company. Everybody doesn't run the distance with us, but everybody knows where the journey is and what we're trying to do along the way. Some people get on and take a part of the journey with us, and then they got off because they got what they needed. But everybody knows where we're going. So we're having a unified conversation in our world, and that's who we're speaking to. Okay. So you want to be clear about where they want to go. Most important, right after that, now here's the next piece, is you then need to, whoops, come on now, my screen, take that off. There we go. I'm figuring this out. Okay, next, you got to decide, are you willing to go there? Where's the place that they need to go so this all wins? And then you have to figure out for you, are you willing to go there? Because you're going to find out a lot of times that you're not. I don't want you selling stuff that you really don't want to sell. I don't want you delivering products and services that are painful for you. Have you ever delivered? When's the last time you have delivered a product you don't want to deliver? You've done a task you don't want to, right? I have a friend, Sean, he's phenomenal at sales. He's really good about presentation, and he's singing. He's a rapper, loves to perform. And he hates the painstaking process of all the details of building a sales event. But he couldn't figure out how to get out of the way. And so that's what he teaches. He offers people, I will help you build your event, build your workshops and trainings. He doesn't love doing that. He's just figured out that's the means to an end. And so he keeps delivering this thing that has been torturing him, right? And you all know people like that. You might be like that. What have you been offering that you don't want to? You got to be clear that you're willing to go there. Okay. Don't take people where you don't want to go. It's really kind of silly, right? That's what we're doing. How many times have you let clients always your choice? How many times have you let clients lead you to someplace undesirable? Type it in the chat. Don't say it's never happened. Tell me how many times it's happened. Now, more importantly, tell me that you're done letting that happen. You get to choose. Anybody who is delivering a product or service or solution that you don't want, guess whose fault that is? 100% you, which means you can fix it. Amen? Let's roll. Okay. Let's get that on. Next. Okay. This is what we're going to dive into. Okay. A couple of key components here. You're going to have by the end of the next 20 minutes here, 15 minutes, you're going to know clearly how to keep people in your world because they want to be, not because you're locking the door, because you're delivering something that they need. Okay. You'll be able to meet their timelines, and you'll be able to design the decision-making process for them. That's the magic in what we're talking about here. Okay. So this is like, you'll be mesmerizing them because you're going to design the experience that they're going to go, wow, I love this here. Why am I here? I'm getting great value here. I love this. Oh, they just spoke to me about something that I've been thinking about for a while, but I haven't done anything about, right? They're going to have all these pieces. You're going to be like, wow, I love it here. Of course I want to buy things here, right? That's what we want for you. Okay. The next key here that we're going to identify, you need to be crystal clear about what they need to know. What do you mean? What do they need to know? What do they need to know? Think about that. Okay. What do they need to know in order to make a decision around you? What do they need to know about you? What do they need to know about you to decide you're the person that they should be following, trusting, listening to, taking action on? Right? You're the person who has the credibility and the track record, right? We've delivered $500 million worth of results for some of the top names in the expert space. We have crashed and burned many times. We have built powerful, explosive outcomes, $1 million and multi-million dollar outcomes and campaigns and events and launches and all of the things. And we've made all the mistakes along the way, right? We know everything there is to know about delivering sales results and predictable sales. We don't know everything about everything in life and business. We sure as hell do know what is necessary to generate revenue in a business. That's what we help people do all day long. Okay. What do you need to know? What do they need to know about themselves? Right? What do they need to know about themselves to know that they're in the right place with you? Right? You need to know about yourself that you need more strategic action in your sales. You need more consistent results. You need to be able to generate more sales results predictably without having to wake up every day wondering where the next one is. Or if you're already having success to a good quality revenue number, we work with people $5 to $10 million who are handcuffed and chained to their business. They know that they're fed up and they're tired, and they cannot be the one person who is running the strategy, running the team, running the sales, or anything in between. They know about that themselves. I'm tired of constantly chasing sales and leads instead of serving my clients, instead of building my mission, instead of creating my movement, instead of changing the game. I also need to know that I am fed up. I have to be that. I don't work with people who are just mildly interested in sales because there's nothing there. There's nothing for me to really leverage in getting people moving. I only want to work with people who are sold out, fed up, and ready to do something about it. Okay. The problem. What do they need to know about the problem? What do they need to know? They need to know that the problem is real, that it's present, and it's got consequences if it is not solved. Right? Problem today that we are constantly making people aware of is that if you don't do something about bulletproofing your sales system, your revenue generation processes and strategies as we move into this winter season that is upon us, that you will be struggling if you survive it at all, or you'll be working for somebody else, because you have to have predictable metrics, predictable means and measures of generating revenue in any environment. And we've got you on that. Okay. So what's the thing that people need to know about you? What do they need to know about themselves? And what do they need to know about the problem? Type something in the chat there. What are you thinking? What's aha is coming up for you here? What question? Type a question, and we can't see them live right now, but we will go into them. If there's a link that you can click on to get on, we'll be on here. You can come on at the end of this, and we'll answer your questions, or type in the chat, and we will come in, and I promise we will answer those questions. Some of them may turn into another training. All right. So let's keep rolling here. I want to hear your ahas and takeaways. Okay. Here's how you break that down. You have to map out the steps. You have to map out the steps, where they are to where they need to get to be able to solve the problem. And in those steps, you need to be thinking inside of this. What do they need to know about themselves, you or the problem, in order to come into your world? What do they need to know about themselves, you or the problem, to take the next step, to optimize, to opt in, to register, to show up, to book a call, to register for a training? Every time, every step along the way, you need to ask yourself, what do they need to know about themselves? What do they need to know about you? What do they need to know about the problem? Your job is to constantly be reaffirming all three. Here's why you need me. Here's what you need to know about you. Your problem is getting worse or it's getting better, right? And here's what's going on in the circumstances. The problem is still present. You may have been aware about it now, just like today in this training. You're now aware of it, and we're giving you some steps to solve it, but you haven't solved a single problem in this call, and you won't within the next 10 minutes before we wrap this up. Okay, but you're now aware. So now I got to keep you moving forward. So you're going to do something about it. What commitments are you going to take to solve those problems? Amen. Okay, so one way to dive in and figure out how do you diagnose those problems is something that we call a sales call audit. We have done thousands of sales call audits for our teams, for our clients. We have a magic ear. We can listen to a call and diagnose everything you're doing right and needs to be optimized, everything you're doing wrong and needs to get better, and what's happening inside of your sales process beforehand and after. We can tell an awful lot about your entire sales process based on listening to the call. And I've got something we're sharing with you that's right here, that link that's right down here, or just type in the chat and we will share it with you. This is our GTE sales call, or Edge sales call audit. We have trained our AI on how to deliver this so that it can work magically. That's something that you will pay for. This audit checklist is you walking through our process, applying it to a call you listen to. And if you want to see the real magic, then even better, having it run through our AI. But we're very proud of this. It's getting great results. You will get immediate results. The only way you won't get immediate results from this is if you don't have any sales calls booked. So book calls, get yourself a sales call audit, and then watch immediate improvements happen. Okay. I promise you, I dare you to challenge me on that outcome. Okay. That's one way to start mapping out what are the things that need to happen. You listen to the calls and you start hearing where are the places that you're not identifying. What are the things they're saying that you weren't picking up on as you were in the conversation? Because there's always some of that. Okay. For most people, right? It's the beginning stages. You need to assess what you're doing so you can then determine what else needs to get done. Okay. And this is one of our ways of making it happen. And we want to share that with you. Okay. Next. Identify the key decisions that they need to make. I know this is similar. We talked about mapping out the lifetime journey. We talk about documenting the steps, understanding what they need to know about themselves, you, and the problem. They're not the same thing. They're layers of the same thing. And this here also, okay, another layer, but this is the magic for you here. Okay. Each one of these components will change the game for you when you map those out. But this here, I want you to really think about. You need to identify the decisions that they need to make. What do I mean by that? What do you think the main decision people are making when they're buying your product or service? Right? Most people are not qualified to make the decision to purchase your product because this is something they're either rarely dealing with or it's the first time they're dealing with. You're dealing with this every day of your life. You understand all of the consequences, the pros, the cons, the do's, the don'ts, everything that is involved in the decision that they're making. Okay. So you are the one who's qualified to help them make that decision. What are they currently doing to make those decisions? Right. In our world, they're typically making a very simple decision, or so they think. Like, am I going to invest in this or not? Do I have the time to put into this or not? How much of this do I want to change? How much time do I want to commit to this? How much money do I want to put into solving this problem? That is the wrong decision. The decisions that you need to be making when you invest in our world is, do you want predictable, scalable sales systems? Do you want better sales results without killing yourself to get them? Do you want to free yourself up to be able to pursue your mission and serve your clients so that you are not consistently handcuffed the ball and chain to your business, because your business is not designed to generate revenue, is designed to fulfill on a product. Our job is to help you constantly see that. So we're showing you the strategies, looking at the lifetime journey. That's how we work with people. One step, if that's going to help you, this is helping you make a decision. Oh, I need a lifetime journey. I need to think about, how do I implement that? Can I do it on my own, or do I need to get some support? Okay. So what are the decisions they're making? Typically the wrong ones, the surface level ones. Do I need this? Should I want to invest in this? How much longer do I want to tolerate this pain? All of that. The decisions they need to really start be making, you have to understand. You define the decisions that they're going to make, and then you document that process and you lay it out for them. Okay. As an example, I'm going to show you an example in just a second. So here's the key steps. What are the decisions they're making? You have to first identify what the decisions they think they're making. What should they be doing in the decision-making process? And then document what that is, and then invite them into that process. And let me give you an example. Okay. I have a colleague named Ben, and he's got a very successful, highly successful, multi-million-dollar company. And they are a marketing company, and they serve commercial businesses that are looking for powerful lead gen strategies. And he's got a client they're working with that has they sell whole, like, big warehouse fans for huge warehouses like Amazon facilities. And most of them they're coming to a webinar and they're showing up, but none of them are taking action after the webinar. The conversations that he's having with people, they're all needing 6 months, 4 to 6 months to purchase. And well, how do I shorten the sales cycle? Right? That's the question. And we started leaning into, we said, nobody's actually buying. It's not like some are, none of them are buying at that price because they have different things they're doing. They have to figure out, how do they make this decision? They have to figure out what team is involved with this. They have to look at the numbers and the money. They got to look at the timelines. They got to determine the targets. Like, what are the benchmarks that they're trying to hit? What are they doing? All right. And so what we decided, we put this together and say, if they're going to take this time and they're going to have an approach, maybe not an ideal approach, how about you frame what that 6 months will look like, right? You map out what is the 6 months look like for them to make that decision. And in that 6 months, you design a well-crafted, well-curated journey that will help them get all of the right information to make the right decision, but with your support, your guidance, your framework. So now they are earning more trust with you, right? Trust, consistency over time. You are in their world for multiple months. You can do this whether it's 30 days, 3 weeks, or 3 years to buy for the buying cycle. Doesn't matter, but you design it. So you say, okay, at first point, we're going to help you map out with a blueprint. Okay, this blueprint is going to help you design what is the project, what's the benchmarks, how do we determine if it's a win, who is involved in the decision making of that project, and if it's determined as a win, what teammates and key players and stakeholders are involved in that. So you build it into the blueprint. right? And they can either buy it or you can give it. That's up to you. And that way they have something tangible that they can then begin to operate in. And they go, okay, great. Now let me go to the right key players, determine what's the budget for this. What are we planning on investing in this? What's going to be the cost? What's going to be the upside? You build into this what they need to think about. They're thinking about what's it going to cost. You need them to think about what's this going to pay off? What's the necessary investment to deliver that outcome? Right? What are the benchmarks and the milestones? How do maybe this is a 3-year project that determines the win? What can we do to make sure they get a win at month 6, at month 9, at month 12? You determine those things so they can see it identified. You're helping them identify this in the process. You're helping them see the timelines and maybe even show them ways to shorten that and make the timelines more accelerated and more effective. Right. And then how do they execute? So you're going to show them here's the pitfalls of the execution. Here's what's going to go well. Here's what's likely to be a problem. You might have your IT manager might get messed up because we're going to do some things that might mess up with stuff that he's going to have to alter some of his plans that he's created. Maybe your facilities management is going to need to shift and change because now there's going to be a new process, something new to take care of and a new way to maintain it. So you're building all of this in place. So you're making the case for them why this wins, where it wins, what they're going to need to overcome in order to deliver the win. And then now you build into that process that after they gather all that information, you meet with them at 90-day process and you help them review and assess and give them guidance, start pointing them towards the finish line. And now you have a sales presentation with somebody who has already got used to your leadership, familiar with your communication style. They've been executing and acting on it because if they haven't, they would not have, they might have got the process, but not done anything about it. If they're doing all of things, they're already telling you that they're trusting you more and more, and they're ready to follow your guidance and looking for you to be the one that can help them. Now, guess what we've done? Anybody want to guess? Right? Well, I'll get to that in a minute. I'm going to show you. But this is all powerful, all very important. If they're going to take 30 days to decide it, you decide what happens in that 30 days and then keep them in that framework. This is not about a funnel. It's about designing a buying process. Design the buying process. If it's going to take them 7 days and you want it to take 70 minutes, well, then what are you going to do to help them in that 7 days think, move, do, and feel so that they're operating on your terms instead of theirs, which helps you help them meet their timelines. Okay. So that's the gig. It's the gig. Design the lifetime journey. Okay. Map out the steps, help them understand what do they need to know about themselves, about you and the problem to be able to continue to move forward, and get yourself right here, identifying the decisions they need to make. And then you get to be the one to articulate it and orchestrate it and keep them in it. This also puts you in a position of being the leader that they've been following. So now it's just natural for them to follow your guidance. And you are in a place where you're just helping them make the right decision about when, how much to invest and when to get started. Whole different process, guys. Now you don't have to be the sales guru. You're just the strategic advisor, right? The wise counselor and guider, and help them move into that framework. So the outcomes we talked about, right? You keep people in your world. So instead of them showing up on your webinar, not buying, and then going elsewhere to look for a solution, you've designed what they're going to do over the next 30 days, 90 days, whatever that timeline is, so that they stay in your world to make a decision instead of go out there on their own and destroy the decision-making process. Next, it helps you meet their timelines because it helps you frame their timelines in the first place. And then you're designing a decision-making process for them. When's the last time you thought you could actually help them make a decision without feeling like you're manipulating people? That's a problem. I know a lot of people get very caught up in that. I don't want to manipulate people. This isn't manipulation. This is guiding a process that they have agreed to voluntarily step into, right? So you are helping them make the decision the way you know, with all the right criteria and things in place that they need to make that powerful decision. And then guess who wins? You and them. Everybody's winning. They get their solutions. You get a client. Everybody's happy. And guess what? You don't have to be a sales guru. You just got to be smart about creating a world in such a way that people buy instead of you mastering how many you sell to people. Okay. So one other way stick around. I got the punchline for you. Okay. Punchline coming up here. Okay. Bonus. You don't want to miss it. We have something called the Client First Collaboration Live Experience. coming up that I want to invite you to. If you are feeling like on your hamster wheel, chasing leads and sales every day, trying to figure out where your next opportunity is coming from, running around trying to throw as many people into the top of the funnel as possible and hope like hell they all come through the bottom end. And I got news for you. Your most premium, profitable opportunity clients, they ain't going through your damn funnel. You need to meet them at the point, at the intersection of pain and solution, and show them that you've got them. Okay. And we have a way to make that happen. We are hosting, capping it at 20 people, a client first collaboration live experience. It's about designing a process that positions you powerfully in front of the ideal people who have the problem that you solve. And it's not a mass market approach. This is a very well targeted approach. It is how we've generated all the millions of dollars that we have made. It's how we generated millions of dollars, $2 million before we ever even had a website or a business card. It's how we've been doing business for the last decade. And we want to share it with you because, again, we are going to deliver more time, more trust, more incentive. We want to make sure you are bulletproof and winterized, having a season of excellence as we move into this winter season. You can choose if it's a hard season or if it's a beautiful winter. Let us help you. Okay. If you do the things that we were just talking about, delivering those keys, right? Mapping out the lifetime journey, make sure that you understand everything they need to know about themselves, you, and the problem, and designing their buying cycle and their decision-making process. What is the first problem we said was going to happen? What's the first thing you're always asking for? How do I collapse the time frame? How do I shorten the buyer cycle? Guess what happens when you do all of that? Here's the punchline. You shorten the cycle. Amen. You end up shortening the cycle because you have now moved them intuitively, strategically, powerfully, and predictably to a way to make a powerful decision that will make them feel good. You will earn trust, consistency over time. You increase the speed of trust. You shorten the sales cycle, and everybody wins. Boom. Right? Come on. Tell me in the chat. That's not freaking awesome. Did we just not blow your brains out here, blow your minds? Come on, tell me. Let's get you off that dang hamster wheel and let's get you working with us. Let's get you to see how we can help. Type in the chat. You want to talk to somebody because we want to help you. We are here for you. Hopefully you can take advantage of all of these opportunities that are coming up. We're going live in here every week. We have we're putting as many free resources out there for you as we can because we do want to help you. And we know that everybody is just not at a place where they can take advantage of our support. But you need to be moving heaven and earth and getting everything out of your way to be able to get into an opportunity to work with us because this is the kind of stuff we do with you and for you, right? Remember that what you do matters. You deserve to be paid well for it. And there's a whole world of people out there that are just waiting for you to solve their problem and to pay you what you're worth. Let's make it happen. Okay. So any questions, type them in the chat. And this is where the recording will cut off. Team. So we'll drop it here. And then now, if you have any other questions, if there's any questions in the chat, we can bring them in here on the other chats, bring them in here. And if not, if you guys want to jump online, help it. Just know that if you have any questions in the chat, we will find them and I will answer them personally. And some of them, like I said, may turn into another training, another edge power play for you. And so I know we have Barb jumped in here. Barb, you got some questions. You want to chime on? Let's talk it out.
So I have recordings of some of my sales calls. Could I send you a recording and have you audit that, or how do we do that?
Yes, we have the edge sales call out at first. You can take the one. Excuse me. You can take that sales check blah blah. That checklist is done for you. So that's you can record your own call, listen to it using that application, or you can upload it and we pay it. So basically, what happens is we do $1,500 for one call audit that we will break down for you, give you a complete brainstorm on, and what is the training plan to overcome those. We are also opening up a membership called the Copilot Prime, where you will pay a monthly membership, and you can get as many sales call audits as you want. And then we will help consult you on the findings so that you will be able to constantly put that in to application and turning those into results and actionable items, because we don't want you to just get calls audited. We want you to actually shift what you're doing as a result, both in the call and before and after the call. So it's not just what happens in the call. Everything we diagnose from that can help you build your whole process out differently.
Sounds great.
Yeah. So definitely love to help you on that. What other questions do you have from what we were sharing?
Well, lots of work for me to do.
Mhm.
I need to map out my process and answer those questions, what's the main decision they need to make? What are they doing to make decisions? What should they be doing? Document it all.
Yeah.
Okay, now I got work to do.
Right. But once you do it, you have it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the beauty of it. Yes. And because I'm that way, I'm the visionary. I hate doing all of that stuff. I do it because it's necessary. And I have
Exactly.
learned that when we do it, it's awesome because now we have a whole vault full of systems. We have a whole knowledge base of SOPs and strategies and document. Now when it's so much easier to bring on a VA or an assistant or a team because you can point them exactly where to go because they've got a clearly documented process of what they need to do so that you're not having to be the one who's got to tell everybody what to do or have to do it yourself because it's not documented and created anywhere else.
Uh-huh.
So it's powerful. It's stuff that's going to make your company valuable and leverage your time incredibly.
Super.
So those are the things that it will also teach you a ton about them because then you'll
Yeah.
have more strategic, actionable insight on what you can talk about, what you can market, what you can share. Like all the stuff that we're doing, all these lives, these are all just things that we literally have. We have so many conversations, so many opportunities, and so many campaigns that we are either consulting on or experiencing that we've got rows and rows of trainings already lined up because every time we come across them, we're like, great, that's going to be a training. That's going to be a training. That's going to be a tool. That's going to be a training. So all of these things are just going to
Right.
give you great things to be able to share with people because you're going to have all this really actionable intel to be able to do things.
Cool.
Amen. So hopefully we're going to see you at the event. I know you coordinated that with Cindy.
Yeah, you and I need to have a chat.
Okay. Yeah, that's for sure. All right. Good stuff. We any other questions out there, guys? We will address them. I probably we'll get into whatever platform you're on, whether on YouTube, LinkedIn, uh, Facebook, or in the group, or on Instagram, whatever it is. I know it's streaming to multiple places. So any questions that you've got, any comments, we will capture them. We will respond. I will respond personally, myself or Cindy. And I won't be a bot or team is going to be us because we want to serve. We really want to get to know what's going on with you and how we can help you win. And just ignore that. That's my 1.5-year-old neighbor who's having a good time. We're here to support you. Tag any questions, whether you're watching this live or on the recording. Type the question in the chat so that we can help you tag us, and we'll come back to it and make sure that you get what you need. I don't want to leave you hanging. All right. So stay tuned. At the Edge Sales Power Play Wednesdays, 1 p.m. Pacific. Put it on your calendar. Make sure that you're ready for it because we'll be here every week for you. All right. Go make magic happen. We love you. We appreciate you. Stay strong. Don't let anybody else dictate your future. It's all up to you. Boom. Okay. Let's kill it. All right. All right. Is the stream cut off? Tonya, where are we done? Did it kill the stream?
Yeah, yeah, just kill it. I give you access to
Okay. Good deal. All right. So, okay, I think we're good. So we didn't record this again though on this one. So we're gonna have to make sure we capture it from YouTube so we have the raw file. Let's make sure that that's on the checklist is when we go live that we're recording this in Zoom as well. So we have the